Okay, we're good to go.
Good afternoon, everybody, or good morning, or good evening, or good middle of the night, as the case may be. It's good to see you. We'll start as we always do with a short period of Zazen. Might get some folks who join us, and then we'll have the uh, incense offering at the beginning, which is pretty much the same as the Zazen Kai, and then we'll go into confession and invoking the presence of the Buddhas and all that good stuff. So for now, just sit Zazen where you are, be comfortable. So, as a lesson in Treeleaf, this is what I had to do prostrations around, which is very Treeleaf, right? She said, "Thank you for putting that down for me. It looks very comfortable." Well, again, thank you all for coming together like this. I try to give some kind of little reflection on the precepts, and I guess this will be the third month where I didn't prepare at all. Um, I thought I'd. So I guess what I'll do is I'll just reflect a little bit. Some of you are aware. I've alluded to, I guess, and talked about it a little bit on the forum. Had some, health issues with family members, and both my wife and I have been in the hospital a couple times this month, and it's not nearly as bad as some of the folks in our Sangha. I don't want to make it bigger than it is, but it's what's arising right now. It's what we practice with, and I think that one of the things that I find really beautiful about this ceremony and each month renewing our vows is bringing them close, making them part of the moment by moment experience of our lives. and that it gives us, precepts give us both a what to do in the world and a how to be in the world. Um, when you are in a difficult situation, whether it's in your work or sitting in a waiting room or sitting in the ER or riding in an ambulance, um, there is some real comfort in knowing what to do. And I think that one of the beautiful things about the Buddhist precepts is that this what to do is not a instructions from on high. It's not a group of lawyers who got together and said, thou shalt do this, this, and this, and not this, and this. Also see subsection C and not in this case. They're a reminder of how to be fully ourselves. I don't have a better way to put it than that. There's probably a better way to put it, but I see 9 Buddhas on the screen, and I know there are Buddhas watching on YouTube and are watching later, and we undertake these precepts to just fully be ourselves, and to know what to do in this moment and how to be in this moment. They help us in the same way that if you're trying to go north and you walk towards the North Star, you're not going to, you can't follow it forever, and you'll certainly never get to it, but it shows you the way. And I think also it reminds you that you're never alone and isolated, that to follow this celestial being, it's always there, north. You're never alone. It's always there. It might be hidden by a cloud. It might be, behind that mountain and you can't quite see it or whatever, but it's still there. And you're still there. The true you is always there. It's there in the ER. It's there in the ambulance. It's there in the annoying meeting at work or whatever it is that's coming up in your life that's difficult. And so it's good to have the precepts to help us remember who we are and how to be and what to do. I'm very grateful for being able to come together like this. It's such an honor. Okay, but enough of my blah blah blah. We'll do something more traditional blah blah blah. The great precepts of Gautama Buddha were kept by all Buddhas. They were transmitted from Buddha to Buddha. They were received by ancestor after ancestor. Our great master, Gautama Buddha, transmitted the precepts to Master Mahakashyapa. Master Mahakashyapa transmitted the precepts to Master Ananda. And the transmission of the precepts has continued in this way, passing from orthodox successor to orthodox successor in one line. Now we reaffirm our commitment to the precepts and return the profound benevolence of Gautama Buddha. We trust this to be the true reception of Gautama Buddha's wisdom and life, respectfully following the approval of Gautama Buddha. We would like to devote ourselves to the precepts, beginning with atoning for past misdeeds.
All harmful acts, words, and thoughts ever committed by me since of old, on account of beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and mind, now I atone for them all. All harmful acts, words, and thoughts ever committed by me since of old, on account of beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and mind. Now I atone for them all. All harmful acts, words, and thoughts, ever committed by me since of old, on account of beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and mind. Now I atone for them all. For this part, if anyone wants to do prostrations, you might want to get up now. Homage to the 7 Buddhas of the past, the symbols of our connection through time. Homage to Shakyamuni Buddha, a person of this earth. Homage to Miroku Buddha, symbol of hope for the future. Homage to Manju Bodhisattva, symbol of great wisdom. Homage to Fugen Bodhisattva, symbol of great activity. Homage to Kanzeon Bodhisattva, symbol of great compassion. Homage to the successive generations of ancestor Bodhisattvas.
So our next part is a water purification ceremony. So if you brought a leaf or some water, that's lovely. If you didn't bring a leaf or some water, it's okay. This is it's a symbolic action to purify ourselves. So you can just take your fingers and do this. Just pull that water right out of the air where it is, right across your head. So you want to do 3 times. Either a sprinkle of water from a leaf or from the air. In doing this, we sincerely vow to take up the precepts and manifest them directly. All you disciples of the Buddha, join your palms in reverence and listen wholeheartedly. I would like to now articulate the preface to the great precepts of the Buddhas. If the members of the assembly will quietly listen, and they know that they have done wrong, they will atone. If they atone, then they will be at ease. If they do not repent, their wrongdoing will grow more grievous. Those who have done wrong are silent, and because of their silence, you should know that they are all purified. So worthy monks, laymen, laywomen, and all the rest, please listen well. In this difficult age, when the lifetime of the Buddha sometimes seems distant, you should revere the Pratimoksha. The Pratimoksha is none other than these precepts. When you observe these precepts, it is like darkness meeting with light. It is like someone poor attaining a treasure. It is like someone who is ill being healed. It is like a prisoner being released from his chains. It is like a traveler who is able to return home. You should know that these rules, the Pratimoksha, are the great teacher for this assembly of people. They are no different from the presence of the Buddha in the world, here and now. Thoughts of fear are difficult to produce. Unwholesome thoughts are difficult to give rise to. Therefore, a sutra says, do not trivialize minor misdeeds as if they are not problematic. Drops of water, though tiny, will gradually fill a large basin. A single instant of wrongdoing can lead you to fall into a hell of uninterrupted suffering. Once you lose your human body, you may not get another for 10,000 kalpas. Just as a galloping horse passes by swiftly, one's physical strength will not remain. The transience of human life goes beyond the mountains and the seas. Even if something remains for the duration of one day, it'll be quite difficult to hold on to tomorrow. Members of the assembly should each energetically advance their own minds. Be careful not to be lazy, negligent, drowsy, or arbitrary. In the evening, you must gather your thoughts and focus them firmly on the three treasures. Do not take as being a waste of time the effort to deepen your repentance for those of later generations. Members of the assembly, each of you in your own minds, should carefully rely on these precepts. Discipline yourselves in the practices that accord with the Buddha's teachings. We'll begin with the three refuges. Respectful devotion to Buddha. Respectful devotion to Dharma. Respectful devotion to Sangha. Devotion to Buddha, the Supreme One. Devotion to Dharma, the supreme purity and teaching. Devotion to Sangha, the supreme community. Perfect devotion to Buddha. Perfect devotion to Dharma. Perfect devotion to Sangha. All the three pure precepts. Today, I reaffirm my commitment to seek as I can in this body and life to avoid doing harm. To seek as I can in this body and life to live in a healthful and helping way, doing good. To seek as I can in this body and life to live for the benefit of all sentient beings. The 10 fundamental precepts. Today, I reaffirm my commitment to seek as I can in this body and life to refrain from the killing of life. To seek as I can in this body and life to live in generosity and refrain from taking that which is not given, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from misusing sexuality and all desire, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from false and malicious speech, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from intoxication in its many forms, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from unconstructively criticizing the errors and faults of others, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from praising oneself and judging others, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from stinginess in bestowing the Buddha's teachings and all precious things, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from all anger, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from disparaging the three treasures, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha.
To save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, to transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, to perceive reality, though reality is boundless, to attain the enlightened way, a way unattainable, to save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, to transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, to perceive reality, though reality is boundless, to attain the enlightened way, a way unattainable, to save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, to transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, to perceive reality, though reality is boundless, to attain the enlightened way, a way unattainable.
Abiding in this ephemeral world, may we exist in muddy water with purity like a lotus. Nothing escapes the boundless mind. Thus we bow to Buddha. Buddha nature pervades the whole universe, reality existing right here now. In reaffirming our commitments to the precepts, we dedicate our sincere efforts to Shakyamuni Buddha, Honored One, the historical Buddha and teacher, to the all-pervading and everlasting three treasures, to all arhats and bodhisattvas, mahasattvas, and their relations throughout the Dharma worlds. May our sincere vows to accomplish and live the enlightened way be realized together. All Buddhas throughout space and time. All bodhisattvas, mahasattvas. Maha, Prajna, Paramita. Lovely. Thank you, everybody. Please go out and live your life with kindness and love. Love everything that you meet, even the really unlovely stuff.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Beautiful job. Bye.
Bye. There's no way I'm getting up from here. My legs are numb. There's no way.
The YouTube video ends an hour later with you crawling to it.
It's okay.